While one nation holds nearly half of all civilian firearms on Earth, others have made gun ownership so restrictive that firearm crimes are virtually non-existent. The global landscape of gun ownership reveals fascinating extremes that shape entire societies. Countries with high gun ownership. The United States stands as the world's undisputed leader in civilian gun ownership. With more firearms than people, Americans possess between 35% and 50% of all civilian-owned guns globally. This extraordinary concentration stems from constitutional protections, cultural traditions, and relatively permissive federal regulations that vary significantly by state. Yemen represents another high ownership nation, though for different reasons. The country's lax gun laws traditionally allowed citizens to own handguns, semi-automatic weapons, and even automatic firearms. However, the ongoing civil war has complicated this landscape, creating uncertainty about current regulations and enforcement capabilities. Serbia maintains a strong gun culture, particularly in rural areas where hunting and sport shooting remain deeply embedded traditions. Despite high ownership rates, the country requires thorough background checks for licensing, demonstrating that high ownership doesn't necessarily mean unrestricted access. The Falkland Islands, despite being a British overseas territory, exhibit surprisingly high gun ownership rates. All firearms must be registered, and permits are mandatory, showing how even small territories can develop distinct approaches to gun regulation while maintaining oversight. Countries with strict gun control. Japan exemplifies the opposite extreme, with some of the world's most restrictive gun laws. Gun crime is nearly non-existent in Japanese society. Citizens seeking to own firearms, typically limited to shotguns or air rifles, must navigate an extensive process involving comprehensive background checks, mental health evaluations, drug testing, and formal instruction courses. This rigorous system effectively limits gun ownership to serious sporting and hunting enthusiasts. Singapore takes restriction even further by prohibiting private citizens from storing firearms at home. Gun owners must keep their weapons at designated gun clubs, ensuring strict oversight and preventing impulsive use. This policy reflects Singapore's broader approach to maintaining public safety through comprehensive regulation. China represents perhaps the most restrictive environment globally. Gun ownership is illegal for most citizens, with prohibitions extending to gunpowder and ammunition. Only specialized security personnel, military members, and licensed hunters under strict supervision can legally possess firearms.